Hey, this is Retired Geek Woman, Adventures with Rhiannon, Stardew Valley 1.5, Retired Slow Play, part number 59. And we are on the 24th day of winter in our second year. And speaking to our little husband there, Harvey, and the baby's awake, so we can come up and click on the baby, and the baby jumps up in the air, and that's so cute. I think that they do that. I love doing that when I had my little kids. A little bit. It made me a little nervous watching my spouse do it. So tomorrow is the Feast of the Winter Star, and I have a secret friend. Sam is my secret person. It's kind of the same thing as a Secret Santa thing that they have in offices. So I got to find Sam a gift, and I want to make sure that I give Sam a loved gift. And if you have not watched any of my episodes before, then I wanted to tell you that you can you can guess at what people's favorite gifts it's going to be, or you can go to the wiki, which there's a link in each of my videos for this. The wiki, you would search for someone's name like Sam, and they would tell you which gift would be the best one to give them. Giving loved gifts increases your relationship levels anytime, but in my head, my mind's eye, I think it's a good idea to give loved gifts anytime I can. You can see that we now have a half a heart relationship with Poppy, so that's a good thing. And our goats are going to give us goat cheese, are going to give us goat milk, and that will give us goat cheese. And if you've watched any of the previous episodes, you can see the difference between the regular pieces of cheese, like the one that you see there in my inventory, and the goat cheese. It's quite a bit different. I like to keep the cow just because I get milk every day from the cow. I only get milk every other day from the goat. 2 goats now. So we'll see if we can get any more goats. So we went around and collected all of our eggs from all of our chickens and our dinosaurs and our duck. And gonna pop things into the mayonnaise maker. We'll just use regular eggs today. So everybody's happy and warm, and they've got 4 more days they're cooped up, so to say, so that they'll be able to come out in the springtime and eat fresh grass, which is my understanding that it helps your relationship if they eat fresh grass. And I don't know if that's true or not, but in my mind's eye, as the farmer of Monroe Farm, my animals get fresh grass. So that's how I look at it. And it's partially a role-playing thing, and partially I wonder if it really does help your relationship. So that's why I do it. So we're going to take that cheese. Remember that we have this new step each morning in our chores, is to run down to the cellar, see if we can put anything new in. We can't, so we're going to put the cheese in there. And so today all we have is our mayonnaise to pop into the shipping bin. So if you have not watched Stardew Valley before, I encourage you to go back and watch the previous 58 episodes. You can see what that's all about. Shipping bin is where we put things that we want to sell, and Mayor Lewis sneaks around at night and gathers the items that you've put in the shipping bin, which is just a little bit weird that he's slinking around our farm at night collecting things. Very kind of strange, really, but it's okay. It's a nice feature, a nice nice thing that he does for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a little bit on the area of some more stone. I put down some more I think it's cobblestone pathway. Eventually we're going to switch all of this to the weathered wood pathways, which I like a lot better. But when you're first starting off, we don't have that recipe. We just recently got it, and I don't want to switch it right now. I'm going to wait a little while. In the meantime, I want to kind of finish out some of the areas that I was thinking about. Oh, look at this beautiful area over here. Look at these oak resin. Yes, yes, yes. We use oak resin along with coral to make our deluxe speed grow, which we use for planting our crops. So I wanted to finish out this area right here. We're going to be putting 3 more bee houses in there, and the area above, I'm going to plant a special crop above that. I'm also going to plant a flower in between, like 1 flower on one side in between 6 of the houses, and then on the other side as well, so that you can get higher quality honey from the bee houses. So what I'm kind of doing here is I had been looking at basically the blueprint from my 11-year farm, and I have showed this before to you guys. I'm using that blueprint to kind of create basically the same area. So I was looking at it. I had it on my other monitor while I was putting down these pieces of cobblestone. Say, okay, where do I want more? What am I doing? So kind of looking at it, and that's what I was doing. Was kind of fleshing it out a little bit more. Obviously, I need a lot more than I had. I knew there was I thought I had not finished this place up above here. There had been some wormy thingies, but I think I had. So I was like, okay, now what did that actually look like on my my blueprint? So I was looking at it thinking, okay, this is the grandpa's shrine. There, as we had seen the very beginning, I think there was a note there laying on that shrine. So I had come up there again because that's grandpa's shrine, and it's going to be very important in a few days. So again, I wanted to put a pathway along that wall right there. And what that does, if you don't do that and you don't come up there and frequently clean out weeds and stones, you can get your way blocked up there. And I want to be able to walk through there all the time. So if you put down a pathway, unless a lightning storm messes it up, then it will keep things from growing right there. So just kind of make it a little bit more pathway. You walk faster on pathways, plus the weeds and logs and stone and whatever else don't show up at the beginning of the season on your pathways. So it's another reason to do that. So I was keeping my kiln going, and also I wanted to work on those bee houses. I want to have 6 more, and you can see it takes quite a bit of coal. And so I've got quite a bit more to do. Not 6 more, 3 more, I think. I've already lost track of my head. If it's the first time you're watching any of my video, I do have a little bit of short-term memory loss. It's normal senior memory loss, but it really sometimes is annoying. Like if I'm trying to tell somebody something, like right now, it's like, I just saw how many bee houses that I had, but I just forgot how many bee houses I had. So it's just an annoyance in my life, and it's something I've learned to deal with. I manage it. It's not a huge deal, but it's there. Unfortunately, it might cause you guys some annoyance, so I apologize in advance if it ever does. I try to minimize it as much as possible, but I needed 3 more, so I need 1, 2, I need 1 more, and I don't have enough coal. So I want to put a total of 12. And the purpose of that is to grow honey. And you don't need honey for a few things, I think, but for the most part, I sell it. And if you have a flower growing next to your beehives, then you will get higher value honey. And each season you have different flowers, of course, that you can grow. And so I will plop, I think it's each season, and different flowers give it different value. So in the springtime, I think it's blue jazz is the flower that gives you the most value. So I'll plant a blue jazz in between those 2 sections there of the beehives. So I was coming down here to again look in my area. I want to make sure that I'm kind of following my blueprint and getting ready, because we've got our big season is coming up here really soon, and I want to make sure that I'm ready for the big season. It's spring is really kind of the beginning of each season is pretty hectic, but spring is, I don't know, seems more hectic. All the things that you need to do. Again, I'm just trying to keep that coal going. And so what I think I'm going to do, and I think I'm making a mistake here, but I'm going to put down a couple of sprinklers. First off, I need a sprinkler right next to where I'm going to be putting the flower, where I'm going to plant the flower. And so I was kind of looking at this area and re-looking at my little blueprint thing, and I realized that I had put a stone in the wrong place, that I needed to knock one of them down, which you can use with your axe. You can knock up your cobblestone, you get your cobblestone back. That's kind of nice. And then I'm going to put that there. And so what I'll be doing is planting the flower in the spot down below where there's a hole below it. There, you got to stand close enough. It's like really annoying. And so you got one there, and then the flower will grow in between. And that will make sure that all of the beehives are around the flower. So just kind of redoing that because I had done it incorrectly, and then I thought, okay, I need to fix that. So we fixed it real quick, and it's like, okay, now here's something that you need to know. If you've got a place that you've hoed, you can unhoe it by using, I think it's your pickaxe. Yes, a pickaxe. And honestly, tell you the truth, I didn't know that until about, I don't know, 6 months ago. I didn't know how to unhoe the ground. So if you've hoed something, like you can see there's little places where I've dug up for the artifact spots, I can undo those with a hoe. So I didn't know that until this last year. So that's something brand new that I didn't know, and I've been playing this game since probably at least 2017, if not 2016 when it came out. So learn something new all the time, and I'm glad to share it on with other people, things that I learned. So I'm looking at my relationships here and looking at my skills. I was also, you get different perks, like with the miner. I chose miner. There was 2 choices. This one gives me +1 ore per vein, which means I can get 2 ore per thing instead of 1 ore. I get 2 sometimes, and that's the reason why. These can be changed at some point. If you choose a path on your level 5 and your level 10 and you're not happy, or you want to switch it out for whatever reason, there's a way later in the game where you can change those skills. So a lot of people switch them back and forth for the different things that they want to do at different times. So just kind of keep that in mind, that they can be changed at some point. So if you make the wrong choice, or what you perceive as the wrong choice, then it's okay. It can be changed later. I was looking at my relationships, and I double checked to make sure that I had at least 8 hearts with at least 10 villagers, and I do have exactly 10 villagers. The only that does not take into consideration your spouse. And there are a number of goals that I wanted to have by the end of this season, which, as you can see, is only 6 days away. And I have achieved that goal. I had really messed up. I thought I had 10, and then I realized that for some way I missed Linus. So I had to go back and make sure that I gave him a couple of loved gifts, which he loves coconuts. I gave him a couple of coconuts, and we got our hearts up to where they should be at 8, or where I needed them to be. And we'll have a big surprise coming up, so I want you to stay tuned when we turn over on the first day of spring in year number 1. Something very special happens, so you need to keep watching, because that is one of the coolest things, and it's something we've been working for out so far. 59 episodes we've been working towards that. I have other goals that we'll be working on much later in the later part of this game, and you'll be seeing, I'll be talking about those things, but this first huge goal is something we've been working towards, and it's the only thing that's really timed, as far as I have to do certain things by this period of time. This upcoming event is the only thing that's timed. As you can see, I decided to go in the mine, and my purpose for going into the mine is I'm hoping to be able to find the geodes, the magnet geodes, and the other ones, I forgot the name of them already. There's the 2 geodes, the one that looks like a rock with sparkles on it. I'll find, if I find one, you'll see what I'm talking about. Those 2 geodes have the opportunity to give you iridium ore. So I'm kind of hoping to get some. There's something that happens, like I mentioned, at the end of this year, where we can get iridium ore regularly, but until then, really the best way to get it is coming down into these low levels of the mine. So as you can see, I started at level 115, and I'm going down further than that, and supposedly I can find those type of geodes here. So that's what I'm hoping for. Got to keep a good eye on your health here. And it seemed like I was having trouble the last couple times I've come to the mine, and I just think I don't know if I picked bad luck days. I'm not sure what it was. It just seems like it was more difficult than it should have been. Of course, having said that, I haven't come down here very much. I usually go to the higher levels because I'm looking for a particular kind of ore, which I can get the other kinds of ore, not iridium. But anyway, so we will just keep right on going here. And I want to apologize for my background noise. Our 2 kitties went in for their kitty shots, I think it was 2 days ago, and one of them had, I wouldn't say an adverse reaction, but he had 0 energy for about 36 hours and literally slept the entire time, and he was in pain, so we couldn't pick him up or anything. It was just, it was awful. And so now today his energy is back. He's being a stinker, and I don't want to stop him from running around and getting all that energy out. I want him to run around and get his legs moving and things like that. So you're going to hear him playing with noisy toys that I didn't put away before I started this, and we're very happy that he's back to his stinker self, and he truly is a character. And I've had pictures that I've posted of them. I thought I had posted them on my community tab. You might check that community tab on a regular basis. That's where I make announcements. If I'm going to be changing any of my schedule, anything I need you guys to know, that's where the information will be. There's also polls and things where I want your opinion about things. So do check that community tab, and I will make sure that there is at least a few pictures of our beloved new babies, fur babies that we just absolutely adore, and talk about them there. So check out that community tab. There's also, on the About tab, is my upload schedule. I keep that up to date, and it lets you know what days I'm going to be uploading which games. Currently, in the present moment, at the time of this recording, I am playing 2 games, Stardew Valley and Kinseed, and they are similar but way different. I love it that the description of Kinseed, which is a relatively new game, it's only been out at this point a few months, about 3 months. I love it that they compared it to Kinseed, but it is so different. So I'm enjoying both games. Obviously, I've been playing Kinseed for many years, so I'm playing those 2 games, and my About section tab will tell you which game is uploaded and what time those upload happens. I keep moving my mouse trying to get that pickaxe, and I keep choosing that geode. It's annoying me, but I wanted to see how many I had gotten. So anyway, thank you for checking those tabs. And while I'm talking about those kinds of things, if you have not done so, please subscribe to my channel. It helps YouTube like me better because they'll recommend my videos to more people. And also, but maybe even more importantly, is it lets me know that I'm doing something that other people find interesting or valuable. So I really do appreciate my subscribers, each and every one of you. Every single morning, what I do first thing while I'm having my cup of tea for breakfast is I check my YouTube channel and see, do I have any new people? And I get so excited when I see one. I mean, ridiculously excited. So thank you all again for your subscriptions, for your comments. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. So anyway, we're coming along here, and all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, it's midnight. Omni geode, that's it. Okay, a magni geode and an omni geode. So I got one of each. And so supposedly those can have a better chance of giving you iridium ore. So it's our only hope. Help us, it's our only hope is to get some iridium ore, which I'm going to be using. I'm not going to have enough. I'm 100% sure I'm not going to have enough of the iridium ore to make iridium sprinklers for our spring planting, which I had hoped to do. But it looks like our spring planting will be done with our quality sprinklers. Quality sprinklers lets you plant 8 plants around the sprinkler, whereas the iridium one lets you plant 24. It's such a huge jump. The tiny ones let you plant 4, then the next one up is 8, and then you go to 24. It's a huge jump. So that's what I had hoped for, but it's just not happening. I haven't found as much as I thought I would. So, and that's okay. We could do it this way for the spring, and then after that, we will have a more than sufficient amount of iridium ore to be able to replant this whole planting area. I did stretch out the space at the beginning of winter. You can go back and look at those episodes where I made the space bigger for our planting area, but it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to expand it yet, so, and that's okay. No big deal. We are making plenty of money with what we're doing, and oh, look at the top. Look up here. Isn't this cute? 24th day of winter. It's ending. That's Christmas Eve in earthly realms. I thought that was so cute. And it doesn't do anything. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just too adorable. All right, today's the 25th day of winter in year number 2. And as you can see, We say good morning to Harvey, and we're going to say good morning to Harvey Jr., our handsome little son there. He's so cute. He stays in that crib until he becomes a toddler. It's like, okay. It's cute. Again, you don't have to have children at all. You can ignore the whole thing. If you choose to have a spouse at all, they will eventually ask you if you want to have children, and you can say yes or no. So I think for role-playing purposes, I just like it. It's kind of putting down my roots in Pelican Town, and so I don't know. I just like that part of it, and they don't have anything to do with anything. The only thing is, if you're going for 100% completion, you would want to have full hearts with them. And I will have full hearts with them eventually. 100% completion is quite a ways off. I don't know how far because I have not ever done 100% completion, so I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. And so I wish you could get that on the right direction. It's like, okay, Nanny has no milk. So right now there are actually, of my 2 goats, they're on opposite schedules. So one day I get milk from one, and one day I get milk from the other. So that's kind of cool, but that obviously will change as we get more and more goats. If this is the first episode you've watched of this series, my ultimate goal is to do 100% completion. And in the future game here, we're going to be able to see how far we are, a percentage. And it gives us basically a list of things that we need to accomplish to reach that 100% completion. So that's my goal for this series. In my 11-year farm, I think I've reached 87%. So once I started working on my YouTube channel, and I thought, you know, which games do I want to share with you all? This is one that I decided to share, and I decided to stop playing my 11-year farm and to play this one through completion. So we will experience that together, so it's very exciting. And I don't know how long it's going to take. We'll see. You know, so anyway, I think it's fun to share games that I am passionate about with you. And I do have other playlists. I have a Skyrim playthrough that I started. Skyrim is one of those games that I get so bored with it after a while, and I lose interest for a period of time. So what I've done, because I knew that I would just be rushing through to get done because I've never completed the game, I decided to put the game on pause for a while, and that way when I take it back up, it will be fresher and it will be more of the quality that I want to give you guys. So that is why that game is on pause, and it says it's on pause. When I take it back up, I'll take up where I left off. So the only other playthrough I have right now is Kinseed, and in the future, that's the time of this recording, obviously. But at some point, I'll do other games as I come across them, or I play like Kinseed. I started playing it, and I thought, oh, I've got to share this with my subscribers. This is so good, and so that's how it ended up being on there. And we'll find more eventually. I don't want to play too many at one time. I've always been a person that plays one game at a time, and so it's kind of interesting for me to be even playing 2 games right now at a time. So. And it's been kind of cool because it's fun to compare them, since these 2 games have been compared to each other. It's like somehow, in some ways I can see it, in other ways not. Look at all of these oak resins. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I planted this whole bank of trees right here. Yes. We have 15. Is that right? Yes. We have 15 bottles of oak resin. So each 1 oak resin and 1 coral makes 5 deluxe speed grows. Deluxe speed grows makes your plants grow 25% faster. So very important that we end up with that. So I'm very excited about that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm grabbing a cactus fruit. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Because I found out that Sam loves cactus fruit. And since we are going to be going to visit the party, they call it the Winterfest, I think it's called, I don't know what it's called. Since we're going to that, and we're going to be giving Sam a gift as his secret friend, they call it, which is like Secret Santa, we're going to be giving him a cactus fruit as his gift. So anything that is in your inventory can be given as a gift. So what we're going to do is basically run around and say, oh, Feast of the Winter Star, that's what it's called. I always forget. because I think Christmas, but it's obviously could be any winter holiday that anybody celebrates. Oh, do you want to hear the legend? No thanks, Willie. I think we heard it last year. If we didn't, we'll come back. Marlin, interesting character standing there. And let's see, who else do we have? Oh, hi, Linus, sitting here all by yourself. Oh, you're welcome, Linus. Heck, people take care of you and give you things. Spending time with family is tiresome. If you really read some of these, are really funny. And I'm just clicking through them real quick. I think they say the same thing each year, to be honest with you. And no, I'm not ready to give Sam his gift yet. And so I don't know if they say the same thing. I don't pay attention enough. So, but some of them, what do I hope to find under the tree? What do I want? A stylish pair of boots. Which should make Emily happy. Remember we had the Emily's clothing therapy? That's on a previous episode. That was hilarious. Yes, it's chilly, Stardew's Fabio. So just kind of clicking on everybody real quick. That's why. And some of them, if I want to see what they say, I kind of hang on for a minute. But most of them are... Anyway, I don't know if you get friendship points. Oh, yeah, I wanted to see what pair I had for sale to see if there's anything that we don't already have. Want to make sure that I'm collectors. Those are the Tree of the Winter Stars, which you could buy for 5,000, which is really nice for decorating your house. But here's the thing that I feel about that. I love decorating my home, my real life home during the holiday season. I put up some kind of tree and lights and all kinds of things that are very festive, things that are special to me that I've collected throughout the years. Now, in the game, you would be doing that every winter season. So it just seems, it feels weird to be, I'm gonna hit that season multiple times throughout the year. It just feels weird to think about putting up what was in effect a Christmas tree when in real life it's the heat of summer outside. It just is weird to me. So I've purchased it in my previous playthrough and then I put it up and then I think I don't know. I know I'm sounding weird because it feels weird to me. So I don't know. Yes, I'm going to give Sam his gift now. I was ready. We gave Sam his gifts and he was very happy with it. And it's Pam. Now, I was a little bit concerned about Pam. We know that she is the resident alcoholic in this town. And she says, I'm your secret gift giver. Well, open it. Okay, because you never know what you're going to get. I don't know what the options are necessarily. And what do we get? She gave us 10 deluxe speed grows. Oh my gosh, it's one of the best gifts ever that I've ever gotten. Because it's something I really can use and I really need it. Look at Rhiannon's got a big smile on her face. Isn't that funny? I was shocked. It's like, oh my goodness. That's one of the best gifts. The very first time I ever played this, I got a glow ring. So I assumed that it would always be something along that caliber, and it has not. So that right there was one of the best things that I've gotten. Glow rings, obviously, yes. Unless you have 3 of them like I currently have. But that was my first one on my first winter that I played. But that is the first time I've ever gotten deluxe speed grow and 10 of them. And that's what I use. I mean, what are the chances? I mean, that is awesome. So that's going to take our little supply up to 31. We need way more than that. And we're going to get more than that. We're going to make more than that. You can see me collecting that oak resin, and I've been collecting all of the coral, and it's coming. Plus, we are going to build a pond on our property, and on the pond you can put a number of things, and one of those things is you can put coral in it, and then it propagates its own self. So we'll have a non-stop supply of coral growing. You can put other things in there in a fish pond. You can put any kind of fish, and it will propagate that kind of fish. So if you, for some reason, want eels, lots and lots of eels, you can put eels in them, or pufferfish, or whatever. And the fish make roe, which you can then sell. You can also put it in the preserve jars. But that's okay. We'll learn more about that later. Right now, we're going to focus on the coral. And now it is the 26th day of winter in year number 2. You can see our monies is up to 145, almost 146,000, which is great. We have things to buy, not super expensive in any given thing, but we have sufficient money to do that. Oh, good morning, Harvey Juder. How are you? Yes, cute little thing. We have sufficient money to buy the things that we want that upcoming. Obviously, we're going to build that pond. I was hoping that we would be able to build the Junimo huts, but we're not quite ready for that yet. We need to wait until we can do the iridium sprinklers. So most likely that will happen probably in the summer, at the right before the summer season. We're gonna do it then. I wish I could have done it now, but we'll probably do it then. We'll have iridium sprinklers then. We can rebuild this planting area and put in the Junimo huts. The Junimo huts cost like 20,000 each. Probably end up with 2 of them. Probably no more than that, I don't think. However, yeah, we don't want to water the goats. We want to milk the goats. The Junimos, if you haven't watched a previous episode or if you've not played before, the Junimos can harvest your crops for you, which is wonderful. You plant them at the beginning of the season and then just go about your merry way. My sprinklers are watering things. My Junimos are harvesting things. All you have to do is go back and replant anything that gets harvested that has to be replanted. So it's wonderful, and I can't wait to show you that because it's such a cool feature. So running around doing our morning chores. For those of you who have not watched before, I do have, as I mentioned in my community tab, I do polls. And one of the polls that I had asked my subscribers if they wanted to see these morning chores, because I've seen playthroughs where they skip them. They cut it out of the video, and the response was, the majority said leave it in. So I'm leaving in the morning chores. Now, if at any point I check that poll and it's changed and the majority doesn't want to see this, I will go ahead and cut that out. I do the same thing every morning. I come over here, I collect all the eggs, I milk the animals in the barn and give them all love, and then I go, the next thing I do is I come in here and I check my greenhouse for anything that's ready to harvest. So I do this every single morning. And then my newest thing that I'm adding on is that when I do have my cheeses, instead of popping them in a shipping bin, I take them down to my cellar and put them in any open casks that are available or in the chest there for getting ready. So you can, I do put chapter markings in my listings that are down below in my notes, I guess it's the descriptions, and you can skip around if you want. But every morning I will be doing that same thing. And you never know, so one of these mornings there might be a new baby goat that we get to name. Or it was really fun when we were filling up our coop and we were hatching our whatever we were hatching in our incubator. So as you saw, we have a coop almost full of dinosaurs, but we do have 1 duck, we have 2 chickens, and 1 rabbit. And we're just going to let them be. So that's all we'll be doing there. I may sell one of my chickens at some point and get another dinosaur. The chickens give eggs every day, ducks every other day, and dinosaurs every 7 days. So anyway, I came in to see Clint to pop the geodes, and as you can see, there is no Clint to be found. So why can I even go in here if he's not there? Where is he? It's 9:50. I don't know where he went. So I was kind of like, bummer. Hi, Vincent. Oh, poor little Vincent. He's always so sad. I don't know about that guy. He should be a happier kid. He was, at first he was really, when we first started talking with him, he's so sad because his daddy wasn't around. Well, let's see. No, Clint, I'm not giving you any copper ores. Every time I do, something happens. Okay. And it's Clint's birthday. What? It's Clint's birthday. Well, where the heck is he? One thing I did off camera is I double checked what is Clint's loved gift and where is he on certain days of the year. Sometimes they have places that they go, and in this case, on this day, Clint is in the boiler room of the community center. So I know what one of his loved gifts is. So I'm looking at his relationship. We have 4 hearts right now. So we have 4. I know he loves Omni geodes. So I can either go find something else to give him, or I can make myself easy, easy on myself, and give him an Omni geode, which is a loved gift. Now he had 4, right? And he says, it's on my birthday today. Oh, I guess it is. Now let's look. Where is he? Let's see. We had 4. Oh my gosh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are now 7 hearts with Clint. And we had 4 before. So we must have been close to having number 5, because I thought you get 2 hearts for a loved gift. So again, it's a point system, which you can't really see unless you do mods. And I don't like doing mods for most games, and definitely not for Stardew Valley. I want to play it as it was designed to be played and designed to look this way. But if you are so inclined, there's tons of mods, and one of them tells you where you're at with hearts and things like that. My suggestion, if you play this game, is to play it the way it was written first, and then later, if you want to play, go back and do mods. You know, to do whatever. You can change the look of everything, different farms. I've seen a lot of playthroughs that have a bunch of mods. I've also, on the wonderful forums that I encourage you to go check out, that they have screenshots of their farms. So I wanted to double check Linus, because I was like so freaking out that Linus wasn't, I didn't have 8 hearts with Linus, but I do. And I do have 8 hearts with at least 10 villagers. If that hadn't been the case, I would only have 2 days to fix it. So I was kind of looking around up here thinking about looking for some stone or, you know, things to cut, and there's just nothing up there. So hopefully there will be soon. And if you see in a previous episode, we did have a train go through town, and we went up there and we got a pretty awesome haul from there, and I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to go look yourself. Haven't popped in here in a while, and I was so delighted. I have an apricot and a cherry. That is late game fruits you would not get otherwise. And I do have a chest of the fruits that I've been collecting from the Bat Cave. So look at that. Except for the apples, everything else came from the Bat Cave. You would not be seeing those for a very long time. I did notice these are out of order. I had to fix them. Just a little bit of OCD popping through there, but that was the fruit chest where I've collected those. So that Bat Cave, that is so cool. So you can see that my preserve jars are ready because the one outside was ready. So I went ahead and grabbed cranberries, and we are going to remove the wild plum jelly that was being made and pop in these cranberries. Cranberries are fantastic. Because when you grow them, they propagate all season long after they're ready, and they just keep going. I end up with way too many cranberries, like a couple 3,000, and I start dumping them in my shipping bin because I have too many. So that's cool. This is a little artifact that we dug up, so we're going to go ahead and hang on to that. Artifacts are those things that you need to turn the first one into the museum, and then what? You get tons of the same ones, and when you put them in the shipping bin, you only get 1 gold for that. So I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and hang on to them, because some of them can be used for other things, like sewing, which we're going to eventually look at. I haven't done a whole ton of that, but I know you can, and I think an artifact can be used for sewing. So we will learn more about that at a later time. The abandoned Joja Mart, this was something that we are still looking at. The Joja Mart got hit by lightning strike after the after we completed the community center, and then they had a party in our honor. Then the Joja Mart got struck by lightning, and when you went into it, there was a Junimo in there, and it said a missing bundle, and it has we need 5 options out of, or 5 items out of 6 different ones. So we need to kind of put those together so that we can see where we're at, because there's some that I have no idea where to get, and so we're going to figure that out. One of the items is a grade star wine. See the gray right there? These are gray star wines. So what I can do is pull it out, pull a wine out of there, and put a regular one in. So I hit it, not with a fishing pole, but with my axe, and it pulled out one of those cranberry wines that were cooking in there, and put a different one in there. So that gave us the gray starred wine that we need for that mysterious bundle, or missing bundle, I think it's called. And so these are the other things we needed: dinosaur mayonnaise, a prismatic shard, a gray starred wine, and I think, didn't we have, there was something else? I was kind of looking here thinking, okay, I need to get rid of that wine. So let's look and see. And yes, oh, five gold star ancient fruits, a void salmon, and then there was some roe, I think. And the roe is made by, remember I told you about the fish ponds? So that is something that would take a while to get. So I'm not sure what we're going to do here. I think we can get that void salmon. And I did check the wiki because I wasn't sure. I didn't ever remember seeing one. And I kind of took a quick look. I searched for void salmon and it told me exactly where to get it from. So I think we're going to go get it. And that would give us 4 of the 5 items that we need. And we're growing ancient fruits right now in our greenhouse. We just got to look for the gold star ones, and then we'll find out what that mysterious bundle is. And I will be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what you get if you finish that bundle, because it has been so many years since I played that. I'm not 100% sure that I did. I think I did, but I have no idea. I don't remember. But void salmons, I don't know if you watched a previous episode, but there is this area here. The witch has a little islandish looking area here, and there's water here. Keep in mind that pretty much a lot of waters around can be fished in, right? So let's throw our fishing rod in there and see if we can get what it said was there, which would be a void salmon. It says I got a hit. Oh, it looks like it's a difficult one, but not too hard. We can. I use that cork bobber that makes my green bar bigger, so that gives me a better chance than not. So looks like we may be able to get this one. This is not impossible. If you look up on the wiki, it tells you the difficulty level of any given fish, which can either be helpful or discouraging depending upon how you look at it. Hold still, you aggravating thing. We'll get it. It'll slow down. Sometimes when they're jumping up and down like that, it's so difficult. If they hold still for a minute, then you can get your green bar on it long enough to, if you can hold your mouth. What you do is you hold your mouse down and either like hold it down and let up, or you can just tap your mouse left button, and there's a couple ways of doing it. And look at that, my very first and only cast, I got a void salmon. Perfect. So now I've got 4 of the 5 items that we need, and we're growing the 5th one. So we need 5 gold star ancient fruits. So good thing we're growing those, right? Otherwise it would have taken a while. So out we go. Again, this is the witch's area, and as we learned in previous episode, the witch is the ex-wife of the wizard, which is a fascinating backstory. We don't know what happened there. He kind of told us a little bit about it. Watch previous episodes to learn a little bit about that. All of these characters have some kind of background, some more deep than others, but to me it's really interesting to talk to them and find out. So that one, I was a shocker. And when he says, do you realize I'd been married before? And then he goes on to send you on this strange quest to break into the witch's cave, I guess it's called, or something. So anyway, back to our story. Get rid of that winter root, and that was cool that we was able to get that so easily. I didn't know. I thought, well, we're going to fish all day long and maybe get it, but our first cast and we got it. So it was awesome. Yeah, let's see what we got going here. I got to put things away, put our fishing rod away. We don't need that. I like to keep an extra cork bobber anytime. And so when I go fishing, then I have that available to me. So it is 6:10 p.m. and we do have a little bit of time left in our day, and I was just double checking to see, I don't know when that kind of things kind of pop in there, so I wanted to take a quick look. I also want to find my ancient fruits that I had been storing. Yeah, there's 3 of them in here. So what I thought, I want to make sure that I end up with a 5 total. Yeah, I wanted to double check that it is 5. So I have 3 of the 5. I need 2 more ancient fruits, and then we have everything we need for that weird bundle. Isn't that strange? So we have to wait for our ancient fruits to mature, and then we'll keep an eye out for any gold star ones. And the rest of them, I am starting to put them through the seed maker and get them planted in our greenhouse. And that's what I'll be doing with the ancient fruits. I will be doing 3 iridium sprinklers, so 24 each plot, and I'll do 3 of them with the ancient fruits and 1 with the star fruit. Your star fruits are your most valuable fruits, and the wines that you put in your cellar from them sell for the most in the game of all of the wines. Unfortunately, when you pick the star fruits, you have to replant them. You got to make new seeds and replant them. And real quickly, what I'm doing there is making grass starter. We're going to need grass starter to put in our fields that we have for our animals, and that's what the fiber is used for. Eventually I'm going to be growing my own fiber because I need so much more than I've been able to collect. So again, the ancient fruit wine is your second most valuable wines to have, and to even just, you can ship them. They're very valuable, but they're way more valuable if you put them down in the cellar and age them. So we'll be having plenty of the ancient fruit. Once you plant the ancient fruits, you don't ever have to plant them again. They just continue to grow in perpetuity, which everybody loves that, or I love that. So the star fruit, I just do some of them because they are so valuable, but they're kind of a pain. At this time, we also need to save our star fruits because we need them for the Junimo huts requires star fruits. I think it's 9 star fruits for each one. So I'm going to be hanging on to those as opposed to putting them through the kegs and all of that and taking them down into the cellar. I'm not going to do that for a while. I'm going to save them so we can build those Junimo huts probably in the beginning of summer. Right at the beginning of the summer, the first day or 2 of the summer season. Jeez Louise, to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. Mumbling along. So I was looking at the various sprinklers. I do want to change out that one that's right there. You can see it's the original sprinkler, and I do have enough to make a quality sprinkler. So I'm going to go ahead and make one and replace it so that I can do 8 instead of 4 plants around it. And so I went ahead and did that. I don't think I'm going to expand the planting area anymore, just simply because I have to harvest it myself at this point, and I've only got so much time and other things that I'm doing, so I don't want to make it so big that it's unmanageable. So I was just taking a little look-see around and thinking, how are things looking here? That whole area to the right where there's that single tree, that's going to be our fiber growing area. So we are going to grow our fiber because we can make fiber seeds. So this is looking pretty good here. I wanted to grab the oak resins that were ready and kind of put things, kind of just checking things out, because once you collect them, then the next batch is starting, and if you let them sit, then you're losing time. So what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing as many of the corals as I can I don't want to lose my regular silver or gold space holders, but I did want to go ahead and make my deluxe speed grow and see how we're doing. I did want to leave at least 1 there. Again, those are placeholders, and I like them in a certain order. It drives me crazy when they get out of order. So let's see how many we can make now of the deluxe speed grows. So all right, look at that. Isn't that beauteous? That's beauteous. 235 deluxe speed grows. So that is fantastic. So I was very happy about that. That may be able to get our first planting. Not sure. We'll see. Combined with what we already had, we had like 31 or something. So now 266. So I feel a lot better about that. And So we had also worked on our seed maker. On our last episode, we put quite a few things through our seed maker. I don't know if we're going to have enough seeds for our initial planting. I hope so. I didn't take the time to count, you know, how many, because there's each of these is 8, and I didn't count how many I had. I didn't do that. When I do the redesign of the planting area and put in the iridium sprinklers, I'll be counting to see how many we really need. So anyway, we're in pretty good shape. I think we will find out within 3 days. So you're gonna have to stick around and check that out in our future episodes. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel, and please give that video a like if you found this to be interesting or informative. But really the most important thing is that I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.